obviously the amount of work that you and your assistants put in on a regular basis, and then given the last couple of weeks, just simply how gratifying is it to get this ACC win on the road, regardless of the manner? Just how good does this feel tonight?
It's not describable. Not for me, for the players. They've been working their guts out, and they respond, and they're allowing themselves to be coached, and they're listening, and they're working, and they're listening, and they're working, and they're listening, and they're working, and they're trying. Same with the coaching staff, and to see that much effort go into it, and to have a tangible yield, and to see the smiles there's no way to describe that. It's unbelievable. I'm so happy for my team.
Coach, you talked about it this week that, from the outside at times, it can be negativity if you're not achieving what you would like. But you said we have to stay encouraging. We have to work from within. How did that go this week, and what did you think of the mindset and the approach of your team?
Yeah, our mindset was great. If one of my kids is struggling, and I'm not belittling him, and I'm tearing him down. I'm praising and I'm building and I'm praising and I'm building. We're working and I'm praising and I'm building, and I stay with him. And we're staying with each other. And anyone else that would love to come, they're invited. But yeah, we love working hard and trying to do things the exact right way, and to have the success that they had today, and to have an intimate group that was unified through that effort, that it was encouraging from the sideline and chanting offense or defense or whatever. That is the force side, and that's what we are as parents, that's what we are as coaches, and I'm lucky to be part of that.
Last couple of things, Coach. Defensively, from an execution standpoint, the difference you've seen, or the aggregate and the growth you saw in this game?
Yeah, lots of just, well, first of all, the amount of work put in a short week, it just was mind-boggling. And yeah, it held for a long time, and there's things to clean up, but if you're not seeing that, you're just not looking, because they're trying so hard, and they're improving, and they're becoming, and just their willingness to keep battling. Yeah, nothing's perfect, but man, I love seeing someone play with their heart, and it's just very gratifying.
Final thing for you, Coach. 31-yard field goal attempt. Just take us through that sequence, what's going through your mind, and then the feeling when that bounces off the upright.
Yeah, man, I don't have the vocabulary. I mean, it just is surreal to watch all that, right? And all the efforts both teams put in and battle, and each team has their own challenges, right? And I can't speak for Miami, I know ours. And both teams lay it completely out there, and it comes down to one play at the end to decide an outcome, and so many people and their mindsets and their attitudes and their support or their not support or whatever. And it just is, I don't know how to describe it, and I'm just grateful that on the road in an ACC game, a place this is the third year in a row, and we've never won here, and this team deserves a lot of credit for that.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Guys, that's Bronco Mendenhall. Let's go Niners.
Okay, we'll open up to questions now. We'll start with Bennett Conlon, then Gene Wong, and then Mike Barber.
Yeah, Bronco, I was curious if you had words to describe your feelings before the kick. I know he's a really good kicker. He comes from a family of really good kickers. What's kind of going through your head? You don't have a timeout to ice him as he lines up for that kick.
Yeah, we did everything we knew how to do to get to that point in the game, and he is a good kicker. It's not he was, or I mean, he is. And there's plenty of plays that led into that one. That just happened to be the most visible play at the end, but there's tons of plays, and my heart goes out to him for that one play. However, he's helped them, he's helped their program, and he's done a great job. So I don't have any thoughts other than, right, what I described before. There's no other words I can use.
Bronco, how would you assess the defense tonight? I mean, it was so stout in the first half, gave some chunk plays in the second. And in the last drive, they were moving down the field, and they got deep in your territory. So, was it a mixed bag, or how do you look at it?
Yeah, we won the game, and they were a big part of it. And with any part of our team, you could say it was a mixed bag, but they played well enough for us to win, and we did. And I'm just going to leave it at that.
Bronco, on the flip side, offensively, it seemed like there were some moments where you could have put this game away and maybe not have been sweating it out there on the final field goal. Is there a measure of disappointment that you weren't able to kind of put this out of reach early and not have the nail biter yet?
I don't have any disappointment. This is just exactly where our team is. We had chances to put it away on offense, chances to put it away on defense, but this is where we are, and that's what we did, and that's exactly the result we got, which is an ACC win on the road in a much-needed time for this program and this team. And I don't know how. I think most games are a mixed bag, and you might be encouraged or disappointed in something. I'm not allowing myself to be discouraged about anything right now.
Bronco, Brendan Farrell got thrown in pretty big spot on a big stage, and he looked unflappable on kickoffs, extra points, field goals. What about his performance?
He was my my personal acknowledgement for who breaks the rock, but the team overrode me with Mandy Alonso. That was a mutiny, and it was not hard to support. But Brendan was exceptional, and to come in and do what he did, and the last field goal that he made, and just the kickoffs, man, he was outstanding. And what a great story. I mean, he was the anchor of that game for us. I just was so proud of him. And if we had two rocks, I would have had to swing again and hit the remnants of the one that Mandy broke.
What about the way Keaton played this week with this? I mean, if you didn't know he had a cast on there, you wouldn't have thought that from the way he played.
It's Keaton Thompson. I mean, he is UVA football. If anyone wants to see what I like or love and what we're trying to become, it's him. He just is relentless in his effort and his positivity and his leadership and his execution and his playmaking and his anything. He is exactly. There's not a person at UVA that represents this institution better than him in any regard. He's just exceptional, and I'm lucky to be with him every single day.
You're missing a lot of guys tonight, some key guys. What's the likelihood of getting any or all of them back next week?
I don't know, but really everyone is. I was talking to Coach Diaz before the game, and he looked at me and I looked at him, and there's this look we know, right? No, and nobody, it doesn't matter, right? That's just what everyone deals with. And so it's a results-oriented business that's driven by effort and heart and execution and so many other things. And tonight we're smiling, which is, and my feelings go out to him because I've been on the other side, and I thought their team played really hard and valiantly.
Next we'll go to Damon Dillman, Preston Willett, and then David Teal with questions. As a reminder, if you have questions, please use the raised hand function.
Bronco, you may have touched on this a little bit already, but between the offense, the defense, talking about Farrell, even the way Finn punted the ball, was there more of a sense of that complementary football tonight?
This team is each other's best fans. They're not allowing anyone or anything to divide them. They believe in what we're doing, how we're doing it, and each other, and that is so gratifying. They're rallying around each other when they play well or when they don't play well. They love each other when they're playing well or not playing well. They're unified, and it just is. It's like what an ideal family is when you're battling and struggling and trying to do something together. So yes, it was complimentary, but it was deeper than that. It was, it was meaningful. Care and absolutely pulling for each other. Not only the outcome, that's easy to do. This is actually pulling for the individual, and those relationships, man, they last for a long time and are priceless.
Bronco, you talk about a rallying point. Just how much can this game alone be a rallying point for this season when you look at the last 2 weeks that y'all have had, and then just it comes down to the very last couple seconds. How do you use this now to kind of push this team forward?
I don't know if I can answer that. Every game's important, and we made, I believe, significant improvement from the UNC game to the Wake Forest game. Because of our success, expectations are raised, and I like it that way. We're just focusing on one play, one game, one day, 1 minute at a time to do the very best we can. Think farther than that, it's just entertainment and speculation, and I don't have time for it. I'm just working on each day, each minute, each player, trying to help them reach their capacity.
Bronco Dontavian looked like he was hurting it up there tonight. How would you describe that catch in the end zone?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I just, I was so, I think what I would like to say that it represented is a person and a player that's becoming and learning how to stay with things all the way to the very end and to see them through. And that comes with maturity, right, and responsibility. And he's becoming a mature and responsible individual that tries harder longer than he's ever had in his life. And that play might be a reflection of that. And sure glad he made it. I don't know how many of us on the screen or on the planet could make that play, but man, what a miraculous play.
Next, let's go to Chris Wright and Jerry Radcliffe.
It seemed like you pushed your more tonight than you had in earlier games, but then on that final drive, kind of chose not to. What goes into the decision making late in the game there, whether to go after them or not?
Yeah, we did both, and some of their plays were against pressure, and some were against lack of pressure, and so we did both. And the distance they had to go on some of those drives, made us play more coverage oriented, and sometimes as it got tighter, we were more pressure oriented. But that it was really the distance in the situation that would have anything to do with what was called.
Bronco, could you comment on your running game tonight? You guys had 181 yards. It seemed like it helped your offense in several junctions of the game.
Yeah, so Mike Hollins runs violently and fiercely, but Keaton, it just seems like every time you give him the ball, something happens positively for our team. And then Wayne Talapapa, right? That combination, those three, I don't think it was the plays that were called. It was just the effort and heart that they played with. And man, is that inspiring. And they know it. I mean, after the game, we looked at each other and they know, because they're gratified because they tried so dang hard. And it's so fun to see that.
We're going to take one last question from Bennett Conlon, then we'll have Mandy Alonso available.
Coach, this game obviously means a lot to Mandy just from where he's from, and to see him have the game that he had, breaking the rock. I think it's the first multi-sack game of his career. What's that like as a coach to watch somebody thrive in such an important personal spot?
Yeah, Mandy wasn't highly recruited. He came to our camp, and I was convinced, just like I was with Billy Kemp, that he was a UVA football player because of his effort and his determination. And he was the player chosen to break the rock after fall camp. He's elected a captain. He's earned his colors, meaning black, and he finishes his career on the road, winning in his home state and stadium. I couldn't write it any better, nor be more happy for anyone on our team than him. And I'm really thankful for him and his efforts and what he's done for us and what he's doing.
Okay, thank you, Coach.
Thanks.
Thank you, Coach. We'll have Mandy Alonso in just a moment.